Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. In today's edition, we take a look at the latest developments on the front line and analyze how forces from both sides are moving on the battlefield. The head of the Chernihiv Regional Administration has announced a mandatory evacuation from 14 border villages due to an increase in Russian offensive activity. The evacuation must be completed within 30 days. Now, according to regional authorities, the border areas are under daily shelling, and despite very real danger, around 300 civilians still live there. Earlier, officials reported that more than 34,000 civilians remain in active combat zones in the Donetsk region. Now, moving to the Donetsk front, analysts from the Kyiv-based open source intelligence project Deep State have reported a further expansion of Russian-controlled areas in northern Marinohrad. According to their assessment, Russian forces are carrying out clearing operations inside the city. At the same time, fighters from Ukraine's Azov regiment raised the Ukrainian flag in the city of Rodinske, located in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian forces say the city remains under the control of the defense forces of Ukraine, despite false claims by Russian propaganda. According to Ukrainian military sources, Russian troops who managed to infiltrate the city are quickly detected and eliminated using all available means. Rodinske is considered strategically important because it is located near key transport routes, including a railway line connecting it to other settlements in the region. Control of the city plays a key role in securing the northern Donetsk region. In the southern part of the Donetsk front, Ukrainian units carried out a deep raid up to 7 kilometers behind Russian lines north of Hulepole. Ukrainian open-source intelligence channel, based on geolocation data, report that a Ukrainian mechanized column moved 7 kilometers through Russian rear areas before returning to Ukrainian-controlled positions. Analysts believe the operation was intended to draw Russian forces away from Hulepole and force them to reinforce their northern flank. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian open-source intelligence project using deep state data has published an updated map tracking changes in territorial control over the past 7 days. According to these figures, Russian forces captured 96 square kilometers, advancing at an average rate of about 14 square kilometers per day. Now, for comparison, the previous week saw a higher pace of advance, around 22 square kilometers per day. The same source reports that, based on data from Ukraine's general staff, the number of daily combat engagement dropped by 12%, averaging around 142 clashes per day. In the Zaporizhzhia sector, Ukrainian soldiers from the Ronin Brigade put an end to another enemy attempt at breaking through defenses. After a failed mechanized assault, the occupiers abandoned a tank and an infantry fighting vehicle on the battlefield, equipment that just minutes before had been used to attack. Ukrainian soldiers quickly seized the opportunity, and with precise strikes, the abandoned armored vehicle were reduced into charred metal. Ukrainian operators of anti-aircraft drones from the Sky Wars unit of the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade repelled a massive attack by enemy UAVs which lasted several hours. The enemy attempted to saturate the air with targets, acting in waves and changing altitudes and direction of approach. In just 6 hours of combat, a single crew destroyed 22 aerial targets. This was the result of coordinated interaction, steady composure, and precise calculations under constant pressure. There were no breaks in the sky, as the operators were continuously intercepting targets as they approached. Among the downed drones was a rare and significant exotic model, the Iranian Shahed 107 kamikaze UAV, which Russians deploy for reconnaissance and strike deep inside Ukrainian territory. Its appearance in this area confirms that the enemy is searching for new tools, but every time Russia brings new technology or strategy to the battlefield, Ukraine is ready with a well-informed and coordinated defense. A handwritten note reading, "I want to surrender, please," was spotted in a window of a ruined building during an aerial reconnaissance organized by Ukrainian UAV operators over Lyman in the Kharkiv region. The Phoenix crew of the Volya battalion of the 57th Separate Mechanized Brigade noticed the unusual message among the debris. Amid constant fighting and total drone surveillance, even this small gesture did not go unnoticed. Ukrainian pilots quickly made contact, gave clear safety instructions, and coordinated further actions with the Shkval Special Forces unit. As a result, the Russian soldier was safely removed from the combat zone and taken prisoner. Ukrainian FP-2 strike UAVs carried out a series of precision strikes on key elements of the enemy's drone infrastructure in the temporarily occupied territory of the Donetsk region. Several critical targets in Donetsk and the village of Mangush came under fire. According to available information, the Garan Shahad Logistic Hub, the Garan Shahad and Garabera UAV Training and Maintenance Center, the central warehouse for these combat units, as well as the drone storage facility were all hit. In addition, it has been confirmed that a facility housing personnel and technical staff involved in the training and equipping of enemy drones was also struck. with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.